there's a lot of people preach freedom. They preach how strong they are, how mentally strong they are. But do you know, since we were little kids and for thousands of years, we've been dealing with preemptive programming? Now, what is preemptive programming? And how do you become a warrior in a modern day society? Here's the thing. You can't avoid it, but what I always say is if you know the game, you can't be played. That's the key factor to this, Warriors. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. I say that every single day on my Coach JV podcast, every single day, because I believe in my heart. And I think it on my mind on a daily basis, and I say it on my podcast every day. And I believe that I am the top health and mindset coach in the world, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And I'm working to teach you, Warriors, that you have the same exact power. And that your mind is a very, very powerful tool. So before you do anything, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Do me a favor. If you like this, hit that like button, hit the notification button. I'm doing up to 2 YouTube videos a day to inform you. So I do really casual videos. I don't edit them. I just put them together. Hopefully you like the non-edited, just very authentic. But I'm going to break this down. I did this really fancy PowerPoint for you guys. And I'm going to break this down for you. Give me 1 second. Hopefully the technology cooperates with me here. So as we jump into it, so we're going to go into stage 1 of preemptive programming, and I'm going to absolutely blow your mind. I'd highly recommend you watch all the way through. We know the attention span of human beings are now 5 seconds versus 30 minutes in the 1980s. So you're a true warrior if you make it all the way through this, because our brains immediately, as you're watching slide 1 and then you're 2 minutes in, you're like, what else is going on YouTube? I challenge you, Warriors. I challenge you to make it all the way through this video. So stage 1 is technology that you hold, okay? Technology that you hold. This phone, you had a beeper on your belt first, then you got a brick phone, then you had a flip phone, then you had a computer that's in your hand, okay? First was technology that you actually physically hold in your hand, okay? Then, stage 2, they transitioned you to wearable technology, okay? I got it on my head right now, okay? You have a Apple Watch, a Fitbit, Bluetooth headphones. Stage 2 is wearable technology. Also, many people who have educated conversations with me, that's what I call arguments, that tell me that they're protecting their minds, that they're not being controlled, as they're talking into their iWatch, as they're talking to Alexa to get the weather because they're too lazy to look it up on their phone. That's true. That's where we're at right now. That's stage 2 of preemptive programming. Stage 3, you ready for this? Stage 3 is internal. That's where we're heading, to the new quantum financial system and the new 4th industrial revolution. By 2030, we will have supposedly 0 carbon. You'll be running on a green initiative. You, as a human, will be connected to a smart grid. You will just think what you want your phone to do. You will just think your light's on. Think about that, Warriors. That is taking your power away. But if you know this is where we're heading, you can't be played, Warriors. You can be a warrior in a modern day society. So let's break this down a little bit further. So what I want to do is I want to break down the smart grid, okay? So we're going to break down the smart grid, and then we're going to talk about Neuralink. So this is what's going on. This is smartgrid.gov. So this is where we're heading. Now, this is why I know we're moving into the 4th industrial revolution, the quantum financial system, because our banking system is built on old archaic rails. Think about that. Our banking system was built 50 years ago, the SWIFT system. So you can't keep operating on the same rails. So we're moving into this, Warriors. So how can you position yourself for generational wealth? My brain listens to words, and that's how I do my investments. I'm not a technical analysis person, but I'll tell you what. The Warrior Academy yesterday, a lot of the people in the Warrior Academy, I was getting tons and tons of text messages. There was a lot of money made yesterday to protect our families. A lot of money made yesterday because of the smart decisions we made looking at where we're heading, not where we are. So listen to words as we go through this.
Electric grid was conceived more than 100 years ago when electricity needs were simple. Power generation was localized and built around communities. Most homes had only small energy demands, such as a few light bulbs and a radio. The grid was designed for utilities to deliver electricity to consumers' homes and then bill them once a month. This limited one-way interaction makes it difficult for the grid to respond to the ever-changing and rising energy demands of the 21st century. The smart grid introduces a two-way dialogue where electricity and information can be exchanged between the utility
Keyword, two-way dialogue.
and its customers. It's a developing network of communications, controls, computers,
Controls, keyword.
automation, and new technologies and tools working together to make the grid more efficient, more reliable, more secure, and greener. This smart grid enables newer
The Green Deal.
technologies to be integrated, such as wind and solar energy production and plug-in electric vehicle charging. With our participation as informed consumers, this smart grid will replace the aging infrastructure of today's grid, and utilities can better communicate with us to help manage our electricity needs.
So let me ask you a question. Are you an informed consumer? What are you consuming right now? You're consuming the narrative of a pandemic. You're consuming a narrative of the C word. Are you being taught about the smart grid or neurotechnology that's coming up or the Neuralink? Now that was the smart grid. Now what is the smart grid going to connect to? Are you ready? Engineering with the brain, working towards improving the lives of people with a broad range of patients. A direct link between the brain and everyday technology. The initial goal of the technology will be to help people with paralysis to regain independence through the control of computers and mobile devices. Our devices are designed to give people the ability to communicate more easily via text-speech synthesis. Text-speech synthesis. To follow their curiosity on the web, or to express their creativity through photography, art, and writing apps. They'll be able to think. She doesn't have a phone in her hand. Technology in your hand, technology on your wrist, technology in your brain. The future of neuroengineering. The link is starting point for the new kind of brain interface. As our technology develops, we will be able to increase the channels of communication with the brain, accessing more of the brain areas, new kinds of neuroinformation. This technology has the potential to treat a wide range of neurological disorders, to restore sensory movement and function, and eventually to expand how we interact with each other, the world, and ourselves. Let me repeat that sentence. And eventually, so at first it starts out just helping people with neurological diseases, which is amazing. That's amazing. Technology can be used for good. But eventually, to expand how we interact with each other, with the world, with ourselves. Okay? Now, you understand the smart grid now. You understand Neuralink that's coming up. Now, this is how my brain works. Guess where I'm going to be investing 5 years from now, starting now? Think about it. Singularity Net. This stuff is already developed. There's companies on the blockchain already putting this out to the marketplace. All right, so I want to introduce you to somebody, David Icke. Now, you're going to go down a huge rabbit hole with this gentleman. This guy is a forward thinker. I resonate with him quite a bit because he's completely off the grid, and he helps people understand what preemptive programming is. Now, David Icke is not liked in the community of the media because he challenges everything. Now, this is not, I want to make it very clear, this is not to get you to believe in what I'm saying. It's not to get you to believe a certain way, I am not trying to sell you a narrative. What I'm working to do is I'm working to challenge your belief system. I'm working to challenge your mind, and I'm working to open up your mind to the access that you have to all of this stuff. That you, right now, can become the uncommon 1%. This is what we teach our warriors, to become the uncommon 1%. That's why the slow, methodical decisions we made the last 6 months allowed our warriors to prosper beyond their wildest dreams yesterday. People were making 60% returns yesterday. People were making thousands of dollars, some in the 6 figures yesterday. Warriors, this is not reserved for the 1%. It's the preemptive programming since you were a young child, media, cartoons, movies. The movies are preemptive programming. Who owns the movies? Who owns the media? The richest people in the world. Who owns the news stations? The richest people in the world. Who owns Disney? The richest people in the world. You don't question these things. You used to watch the Jetsons if you're my age and you were like, whoa, whoa, look at that watch they have. It's got a hologram coming up from it, and we laughed about it, and now you have an iWatch, a robot. There's robots that exist. You got Sophie the robot that can have intelligent conversations with people. Intelligent conversations with people. It's here, warriors. We are moving from the industrial to technical, and into the fourth industrial revolution. So I want you to watch this video with an open mind.
You are not who you think you are.
The movie The Matrix is not science fiction. It's a documentary.
It's a download of normal.
The brain is like the iPod. Consciousness is the screen where I can create. But if I don't have anything in the hard drive, I can't create.
When you look at a human life, it's basically a perceptual programming and download from cradle to grave. You come out of the womb and immediately you're influenced by your parents in terms of your perceptions. And they're not being malevolent, but they've been through the system you're about to go through, the process you're about to go through. They've bought it, accepted it as normal, accepted the crazy place to be sane, and therefore out of wanting to do right for you, they'll pass those perceptions on to you.
95% of our life is coming from the programs of life, how to live life that we get in the first 7 years of life.
You come out of the womb, and within 4 years, you've only just got here. You're sitting at a desk with an authority figure representing the state's version of everything in front of you, telling you when you have to be there, when you can leave, when you can speak, when you can go to the toilet, when you can eat, what is, what isn't, what's possible, what's not possible, and the nature of everything.
Every human, and this is a fact, every human first 7 years is download, a hypnosis. The brain of a child under 7 is in a lower vibrational frequency. When you put wires on a person's head, you read electroencephalograph, reading brain activity. A child below 7 has a lower vibration than consciousness. It's called theta. Theta is imagination. Oh, that's how kids play a tea party with mud pies, but to them it's a real thing. A kid rides a broom, it's a horse. That's theta, imagination.
So I'm going to stop right there. Please go like, subscribe, comment to the video advice. I'm going to put this video down below. I'll let you watch the rest of the video. I'd highly recommend you check out their channel. Now, I stopped right here with this eyeball. It's not from the outside in. It's from the inside out. The story that I explained to the warriors many times is 2 people are sitting at a red light. 2 people. The 2 people see a tragic accident right in front of them. A motorcyclist gets hit and dies right in front of them. The person on the left in the car all of a sudden sees how short life is, that it can end in an instant. Immediately calls her family and says, I love you, I appreciate you so much, and starts living the best life. Their family prospers. So that person's unfortunate death becomes a catalyst for someone to live their life full out. And the person on the right has a completely different experience. They freeze up. Post-traumatic stress. They start getting anxiety. They can't sleep. They see it over and over again. They stop focusing at work. They lose their job. They lose their relationship. They lose the ability to have intimacy. 2 people saw the exact same thing and had a completely different paradigm experience. The physical construct of your reality is created by you, warriors. And since you were a young child, your parents created the physical construct of your reality through your subconscious mind. The beautiful thing about it, warriors, is you can reprogram your subconscious mind through meditation, breathing, high-intensity training, fasting. And once you open up this frontal area right here, those who have eyes to see will see. Once you open up that awareness, you'll start to see things that you never thought were possible. You'll start to see clearly. You'll start to understand that you are powerful beyond measure. And as we navigate into this new world, you won't get left behind, warriors. You will prosper. So we are the uncommon 1%, bringing the funds back to the people that deserve it. This is God's world, not ours. And we need to bring the money back to the people. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. If you want to join our Warrior Academy, click the link down below in the description. If you want to get to like, know, and trust us first, join our free private Facebook group where Kevin and I go live on a daily basis. We also have our live YouTube show at 7:30 a.m. Arizona time, Tuesday and Thursday. We're bringing you free information on a daily basis because we love you. We care about you, and we want you to prosper beyond your wildest dreams. You know what I always say? Let's get it. Warriors, rise! Let's go.